All right, it's time. Another week of ZTGD Radio. This is episode 811 for September 9th, 2024. On the show this week, we have Terrence.
What up, everybody?
We got the Wombat.
Hey, yes, sir.
And I am Steve.
Dun, 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 dun.
Fucking Minecraft trailer was so bad.
Oh, it was so bad.
Like,
why is Jack
didn't
Black
even-
in every...
He didn't
Like,
even try.
yeah.
He just showed up with his hair disheveled and a big ass beard. He's like, "I'm Steve."
I saw a Twitter post, and it said, like, a band of misfits awake in an area that looks like ancient Rome. They look around and say, "What? Somehow we're in ancient Rome." And then they see skyscrapers in the distance, and someone else says, "No, I don't think so." And then Jack Black slowly enters and says, "I'm Sid Meier, and this is my civilization."
That's good.
Oh,
Jack
shit.
Black is going to be in all the video game movies.
Yeah.
He was
You
in
know
Borderlands.
Yep.
Yeah, but, you know... did anybody see that yet? 'Cause I think
No,
it's on
I'm not
streaming
paying
now.
to watch that.
I think... Is it on streaming? No,
That's
it's
not
on...
free.
You can buy it.
Yeah,
That's
you
what it
gotta
is,
buy
yeah.
it. Like, I ain't.
Okay,
Fuck
yeah.
that. I ain't.
No. I ain't gonna watch it when it hits streaming because I'm so like I knew the movie was gonna be good when they was like, yeah, Kevin Hart's playing a Roland. I was like, oh, okay, we doing a parody of
You
Borderlands.
want to talk about
Got
somebody
it.
who's everywhere? Is fucking Kevin Hart's got like 67 commercials.
Listen, Cat Williams told you, okay? He told us, all right, about Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart is like he's in every other commercial I see on my TV.
Yep, everywhere. Even the internet ads, the
Yeah.
little gambling sites and shit.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
He's
God
all
damn.
over FanDuel
nigga.
or whatever it is.
You got a
Yeah.
new movie or TV
Or
show
DraftKings, I guess it is.
That's what it is. Yeah.
coming out like every other week. It's like crazy. Like, dude is everywhere. I'm like I watched one of his stand-up specials. I'm like, I mean, it was moderately funny, but he ain't like got me rolling on the floor shit.
No. I've seen like some. I think I've seen maybe all of his specials. He has some funny stuff, but he's not like. He ain't Eddie Murphy. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, you know, he's not.
Ain't nobody Ed.
Definitely
If you
not.
mess with Ed, you be dead.
Half of his career is thanks to the fact that he's friends with The Rock. So,
Oh yeah.
Well,
Whatever
that
happened to
is-
Anymore, at
him?
least.
Like,
huh?
I ain't heard shit from him in a long ass time.
Well, he came back to WWE, and that was his focus for a while. Now I don't remember what he's working on now. Some stupid bullshit movie, I'm sure.
Yeah, where he can't lose.
Yeah.
right. I'm good with him taking a break because I'm sick of Dwayne. So yeah,
Change-
sit down for a
Change
minute.
the face of some other franchise.
Right.
The entire power structure of the I don't know, some stupid ass universe.
He's about to go to Lord of the Rings.
The entire power structure of the Thundercats universe is about to be completely changed.
Oh damn, he gonna kill the Thundercats now.
I mean, you can't kill which that
Anthro
is
or
already
something.
dead.
well, that's true. I liked the Thundercats though. Growing
No,
up,
I
man.
love
It
the
was
Thundercats,
like
but
Good shit.
ain't nobody bringing that shit
Nah.
back.
Dwayne
Nah.
Johnson as Mum-Ra. Turn Mum-Ra into a hero because he can't be a bad guy.
Ugh.
Oh,
I don't
man.
want to see that. No, thank you.
Nah.
All right. Yeah, video games, man. It's fucking crazy. I had to check all of the embargoes before, and hopefully you did too.
I know I'm allowed to talk about mine.
Oh, I know you are. Like, yeah, the NBA is good to go, but man.
Yeah,
so many
I
other
just-
games.
I only have-
It's,
Yeah, I only have
I can
one
talk about it, but
that I can't talk about. I just have that one that I think will rival Astrobot. Is the only one that I can't talk about that's embargoed. Everything else I think I can.
I think I have two that I can't. One of them's the embargo's tomorrow morning, which is when you're listening to this morning, but it's 11 o'clock, and I'm like, the hell am I going to say about a collection of like 20-year-old games?
Right.
Like, I don't know. Why is it embargoed? I don't know.
That's so weird that they embargo like the like old stuff like that, the collections of the old stuff. Like what?
Everybody
I
going to
mean,
buy it, so don't. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's out this week. Anyway, we'll kick it off with you, Terrence. What you got? What you got?
Okay. So hold on, I gotta pull my list up.
We posted 7 reviews this week, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
That's a lot of damn, that's like it's that season though, because I was looking at the calendar and all this stuff, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's so
every
many
week
games.
there's like 1 or 2 games. I'm like, man, I'm gonna play that.
Yep. Okay, so I am not actually playing this one for review, so I'm just playing for fun. But that Star Trucker game finally came out, and that is a lot of fun. It definitely is like those trucker games that I can't think of the name of any of them, but I know they come out.
I mean, it's literally. Are you talking about
Euro
the
Truck Simulator or whatever?
Yeah, like it's because you like the big rig trucks, that
think-
type shit.
I think it's just called Truck Simulator.
Oh, okay, that might be.
There's Euro Truck Simulator, and
Okay,
where you're driving across Europe.
Every single game that has Eastbound and Down on the soundtrack.
American Truck Simulator.
I don't think that's in Star Trucker. All the music is like it's like that genre, like that kind of country music, but it's not that particular song. But it's that type of game, but it's in space. So, as you level up, you will unlock different contracts, like ones that you have to arrive at a specific time. Like if you arrive too early, yes. Oh, good hit. Good job.
I mean, it's so complicated to pull that fucking thing up and then find what I'm looking for. I was like, God damn it.
I think that I can map some of that stuff to this little sound
that's
mixer
cool for
thing. I'm gonna
you.
have to try that. Oh, well, it might play. Oh, yeah, it is cool. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So that would be cool for me, not for you. Sorry. But anyway,
cool. We'd have stream decks and shit. But
well played. What'd you say, Ryan?
I said if we were cool, we'd have stream decks and fancy podcast microphones. And
I mean, what's funny is we've been doing this for so many years, and like Terrence is the first one to bought one, and it's like $50. Like we couldn't muster $50 in like a decade and a half.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you do the podcast for free.
That's right. It's baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. In the next 2 decades,
our podcast is old enough to vote.
Yep.
Talking about baby steps.
Oh shit. But no, it's just one of those, kind of simulator games, but it's in space. As you level up, you unlock different contracts, you upgrade your truck. You do have to step outside your truck because if you get damaged, you have like hull breaches. So you have to go out and like
it controls like shit outside the truck.
It does. So, but the reason for that is like it's not an arcadey space game. It's using like real kind of physics. So you have to like
say it's a real space trucker game. It's simulation.
Right. Yeah, I as a space fan, sometimes I appreciate.
I am a fan of space.
I'm on the same page. I'm on the same page.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. But then, other times I'm totally down for like a Descent or a Chorus or, a more arcadey type shit. But this actually is pretty good. You should check it out, Ryan. You might actually dig it. It might be playable on the Steam Deck too. I'm not. Oh wait, can you do Game Pass games on the deck yet?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. I didn't know if that.
I mean, there's probably a workaround, right?
I mean, no, you can stream them, but you can't.
They're not native. I got you.
No.
Oh, okay.
Then fuck that, because the streaming sucks.
It definitely does. Yeah. Nah, fuck that. I finished up Star Wars Outlaws. I enjoyed that game. Game.
I finally went back to it. Like
I started playing that this week too.
I feel terrible. Like my review was so late, but like I will tell you that game starts bad.
It does. I actually, when I finished it, I was like, I'm kind of glad Ken didn't rush to get the review out because this game does not end anywhere near how it starts. Like it's so much better by the time you reach like mid game.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because when I was playing it last night, I was like, this is kind of boring.
Yeah, it starts really, really bad. Like the first 2 to 3 hours of that game are like enough to make you quit. And I don't know whose decision that was, but that was a bad decision.
So last night because I just started playing it last night. I was trying to figure out. I was gonna buy Astrobot, but my son still got the PlayStation upstairs because he's playing Wukong. So I thought, you know what? Let me just. I mean, I'm gonna get Ubisoft Plus for Star Wars. Let me just do that because it's cheap and I can do it on Xbox and I don't have to worry about it. So I started playing it last night, and I got through the like where you get the title stinger, with the like opening or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
and to the next city from there, and did the first little mission in that city, and I'm like, it's not great.
Yep.
It's not bad, but it's not great. So hopefully the more I play of it, the more I'll enjoy it. It was a game I was really looking forward to. So
it definitely gets better when you actually get to the game.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Once you get the ship, and well, there's like a couple tutorial things you have to do once you get the ship. But once it kind of opens up and you can do what you want, because you can attack these, like there's no rhyme or reason like to the story missions. Like it all is connected, but you can go to the different planets to recruit because that's the whole thing. You're planning a heist because these are smugglers, outlaws, whatever. And you're building a crew, which I think Ken has talked about before. So you can kind of go and collect these different, you build your crew however you want. But when you go to these different planets, there is because it's an Ubisoft game, a butt ton of side missions. But some of them have really good payoffs, like Bethesda level side payoffs, where like the side mission could have just been like a main one. And that's basically what I have left is like all of those, because there's a ton of like contracts where you work for the different factions. And then there's just the side missions where you're walking around town or you're in the canteen and somebody tells you like a tip, or they're like, hey, I want you to help me do this or do this Cybok tournament, which that's another thing. I actually enjoy playing the Cybok game, or Sabak, excuse me, the card game in this. That actually is, I know y'all don't fuck with card games, but it's kind of cool.
I'm trying, really weirdly, that game has been out a while.
Yeah, it's been out since August 30th.
It hasn't been patched.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's crazy to me, like, because it is kind of janky.
It is, and I was going to make sure that I talk about that, because it by no means is technically sound. And I'm not going to say that it's like a broke piece of ass, because it's not. But there is jank. The AI will do some weird stuff. And I'll tell you what, some of the stealth missions that are forced, and another thing, and I think I talked about this before, the beginning stealth missions where you're sneaking into the Imperial base is super hard, and there's one at the very end that's going, and oh my god, because I think I had to restart it like 6 times, and I was like, Ken is going to be like, nah, fuck this game.
Yeah, let's turn this
just
shit
take your
off.
time. Just take your time, okay? Just take your time. Stun where you can, and this will make sense when you play. Stun where you can stun, and just go slow. Don't try to rush it. Just take your time and observe. But yeah, it was, oh my god. But anyway, yeah, the AI is questionable. And I had, oh my god, I had one like person I was chasing for some mission, and he cut a corner, and I swear to God, he like started to like float up in the air, and my thing wouldn't clip it, and then he just like disappeared, and I was like, what the fuck? Like this game does some weird stuff, but it is fun. But it does have that Ubisoft jank, and I think I said this in our chat. Like, there's a couple of cameos that are big that I'm surprised it hasn't leaked. Really surprised.
Oh, it's leaked. You just ain't seen it.
Oh, okay. See, because I'm not on.
So
Well then, good. I'm glad you haven't. Yeah, because I guess because I don't be on Twix like that. I guess I missed it. But yeah, I was like, oh shit, oh wow. But yeah, it was, and it tells a really good story. And I said this last week. I like Kay as a character. And I hope that they make a sequel. Like, I hope they do something else with her and kind of build it out, because this definitely has, I think, maybe like the foundations of something solid, but it just kind of needs some patches and stuff to get there, which that's weird. It hasn't gotten any patches.
No, it hasn't. Like, every week I do, I play those indie games, and when I'm doing that, I sort my my game library by last updated. And like I kept looking on my game, I was like, did I delete Star Wars? Like I'm still playing it. Why would I delete it? I had to scroll down to like last updated 3 weeks ago.
Wow.
Which is wild because Ubisoft games get updated like all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
usually
do.
they do for sure.
Like this game hasn't been touched since it came out. Like it got one patch before it launched, and that was it.
And I mean, that's been of the reviews that I read. That was like the complaints too, is that the game has issues. So that's weird.
It
that they
does.
haven't
It
patched
also.
it all.
I don't remember. I don't know if it's in the news. I haven't looked at the news yet, but apparently it tanked Ubisoft's stock because it's not selling.
I saw that. I saw that, and that again. Man, yes, it has issues, but as a Star Wars fan, and you know what, it's really the developer's fault because, like you said, I don't know whose decision it was to have the game start out that slowly. Because I mean, even Ryan's like, man, listen,
And listen, I love Star Wars, and I'm completely fine with slow, janky games. And even I was like, man, this is kind
Yeah.
of boring.
Yeah,
see?
it's just boring at the beginning, and like those first couple missions are so poorly designed. It's like, god damn, this was like your elevator pitch to get people to play it because this is not.
Well, and it's weird too because like when the game first starts and you're in her like little attic thing or whatever, it's like this really close over the shoulder camera.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
And I'm like, wait, what the fuck is the whole game like this? Like why
Yep.
why is it like I'm playing God of War 2018 right now? And then as you start playing, the camera angle switches to something that's more like a normal third person action game. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Well, it's a little weird that they decided to do the crazy cinematic right over your shoulder camera for this first part, but
It also has a weird setting in the video settings too. Like it's set to like a 16:10 or something like that.
Oh,
But
yeah,
if you
21:9
can change,
cinematic thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
and you can change it to full screen because I didn't like that. Like, so I don't know if you, but if you
No,
go
I
into
switched that immediately. I was like, why the fuck would I want to cut off the screen?
like
like-
what the fuck? So look at that, Ryan. Will you go into
okay,
the
yeah,
display?
I'll look at that because I didn't
Yep.
even pay attention to that.
Yeah, because that weirded me out. Like I'm like, what
these
the hell?
motherfuckers. Bitch, don't defaultly turn on film grain or
Right.
shit like that. Like turn that shit off. Like who
Like,
who the
have
fuck wants your
options.
game to look fuzzy?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll almost always turn off motion blur because there are very few
Same.
games that have ever
me
done
too.
motion blur well.
Yeah,
Yep,
motion
same.
blur is 100% gone as soon as I turn the game on. Like, nah, this got to go.
Mm-hmm.
I can't stand when I try to turn that's one of the first things I do when I first start playing a game is just start moving, like swinging the camera around the character, because that'll tell me in a couple seconds whether or not I'm going to have to change settings to be able to play the game. Because if the screen's tearing all over the place and there's a whole bunch of motion blur and it just looks like shit when I'm turning the camera, I know immediately, okay, there's some stuff I'm going to have to turn off.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's funny. I do the same thing.
I had to do that in I had to tinker with Fallen Order a lot. Because basically, as soon as I booted it up, I started spinning the camera around Cal, and I'm like, nope, that's not going to work.
Yeah, even when I played that, it did. I can't remember what it was. Was it his running or the wind or something? So it was something that was like off with the settings on that.
Yeah, they also had a weird resolution glitch in that game where it almost looked like he had a
You're talking about the ghost thing?
Yeah, like a ghost.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
that's what
it sounds like was resolution scaling was causing that problem.
Oh, I hated that thing. I was like, is my TV fucking up?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? Yep. That's what it was. That's what it was. That's still that. And again, you know what? That's another game that had technical issues. Fantastic game. That story. Oh my God.
That game took like 6 to 8 months to get the technical issues even close to ironed out.
Yeah.
Something about Star Wars games and technical issues, man.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. But yeah, so that's Outlaws. I'm trying to hit some small stuff before I get to the big thing here. I played because this is out now. I'm writing the review for the Quidditch Champions. I don't remember if I talked about it last week or not, but it's Quidditch. It's pretty bare bones. I still don't like that they went from the the matches being where you control one role, be it, a beater, a keeper, or a seeker, or whatever. Now it's 3v3, but each person controls two roles, and you switch characters with Y, and then the AI does that job or that, position on the field in the meantime when you're not on there. I don't know. And it should have been free to play. I'm not sure why they charged for it. It does have a campaign and stuff. When I had tested it back when, it was geared towards strictly multiplayer. And I feel like they were like, oh shit, Hogwarts Legacy did his thing. We need to make some money off this. So we're going to put this campaign in here, which is very simplistic. It's just you're playing Quidditch matches you go from Hogwarts to the other different schools. So it's like the Triwizard Cup. So the other schools that were in the books of the movie. So Durmstrang and Beauxbaton, which is weird that they don't go to the American one since they've introduced it with Fantastic Beasts, but that's fine. And then the last one is like you're at the World Cup, which is like the Quidditch Super Bowl, basically. So now you're playing for one of those countries.
Who was the halftime show?
What?
They ain't got one of them. No, they ain't got no halftime show. Kind of like Madden. I hear Madden don't have a halftime show.
Nope, Madden don't have no halftime show. What the fuck?
Which is crazy.
EA Sports.
NBA has one, and I skip it every time.
Does it?
Yeah, but you have to skip it in. You have to skip it in segments. Yeah, it's got like it always has for a while. It's got like the halftime show with the guys from TNT.
Yeah, the 2K Sports had one with Chris Berman back in fucking NFL 2K5, and Madden ain't been able to copy that in 20 fucking years.
Yeah,
that is just insane. I guess they feel like, well, people don't really want that. Obviously, it's fine.
I mean, people still talk about the 2K one.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, because I think we talked about this. The Madden game doesn't have features that the college football game has that people actually want.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't know what the fuck they doing with Madden anymore. They just
I don't know. It feels bad not to have competition because Madden just goes on and it's like, well, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
You gonna play another game? Oh wait, you can't.
That South Park, they're just rubbing their nipples. Oh, the cable company.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny. But the NFL might be opening their, like, letting other, companies use their license. Cause like I said, that Retro Bowl game has the NFL license now. And like, it has like the teams and the players and ratings.
Yeah, but somebody's got to make one. Like I guess 2K could go back to making them, but man, I swear to God, the first time they put a ghost story in the fucking NFL, I can't.
To be fair, they haven't done the ghost story thing in a while in NBA.
Yeah. No, but they did go-karts, so why not?
That was the Spike Lee one, yeah.
Jesus.
What the fuck are we doing?
Oh, yeah, I want to hear about the 2K, because, oh, man, let me hurry up. Okay, so casting of Frank Stone. I'm going to get the review written for that. That's not really all that. It's not as great as I think Until Dawn was, because Supermassive did this. Unless you're a super huge, massive fan of Dead by Daylight, the casting of Frank Stone is not going to give you much. It's not scary. It's a great looking game graphically. But like the collectibles and stuff around, like the lore, you'll get some more insights on like the entity and just the fog, which is the realm where Dead by Daylight takes place. So like it fills in some of those gaps. But again, only Uber fans are really.
Man, I thought it was like a single player like action adventure game because I got a code in the indie stuff this week. Mm-hmm. I booted it up. I was like, "Oh, a fucking choice."
Yep.
Delete.
Yeah. Yep. It's just it's a playable movie. Is really what it is.
Like I like Supermassive games. I enjoy playing the Dark Pictures, but like I have zero interest in Dead by Daylight. Like the lore of Dead by Daylight. So.
You won't care because even like it's not even interesting outside of Frank Stone himself, which is kind of like an imposing character in like the outset, like the very beginning of the game, like the prologue. But then you don't see or hear from this nigga until like the third act. Like it's just I don't know. You just have to be a fan of Dead by Daylight because everything else just kind of feels like they just kind of threw it together. Like it doesn't even have that real super massive kind of the dark picture because those games were good. Like even the story and stuff. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Some of them were good.
Well, I think I only played the first one. Which was that
the boat, the ghost ship one.
Yes, we played that one. I didn't do the Devil in Me or whatever the next one. And
Devil in Me was kind of meh, and then the one I think Drew and I played through all of them, but that last one we did, like, I totally did not see that shit coming. I can remember playing with him, and like when it like happened and we started walking through the area, I was like, you know what this is? Oh shit, that's what this is.
So it was a good oh shit?
Yeah, like you don't see it coming and you're like, well, I'll be goddamn. All right.
Okay. All right, well yeah. But yeah, it's not all that. And then the last thing that I will talk about, I think, because the rest of this stuff, is of course Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Okay, so the campaign. And I don't want to make this seem like I love this game. This game is fantastic. The campaign was everything I wanted it to be. It told a good story. Seeing Titus back. There is Easter egg for those people that played the original game, which was nice. The enemies, I forget what they call it. The horde system that they use is like crazy, just like it was in World War Z. Like there are so many Tyranids on the screen as they're like literally scrambling up each other, Dude, up this building to get to you. It's insane.
I don't know if you watched the Digital Foundry video, but it is killing the PS5, and I don't know why. It drops down to like 30 frames per second in the performance mode.
I didn't see that.
It's filthy. Like the Xbox doesn't like hold it. It drops into like the high 40s, low 50s. But I saw the PS5 drop down to 30, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Okay, well yeah, they gonna need some patches. They gonna need some help.
Nah, just put it on the Pro.
Oh well, yeah, that's right. Yes, that's definitely gonna have the juice for it.
$800, you can fix your frame rate.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Now that's the PC way, baby.
Right. That's exactly what that is too. But no, I love this game.
It is a lot of fun. It is very much, it's like they understood the assignment. Like put Warhammer and Gears of War like you did back on the 360, we're good. Boom, done.
Bam. Yep. And that's what it is.
Terrence, how long is the campaign?
So about 10-12 hours long.
Okay. That's about what I expected.
Yeah, so it's not super duper long. And then the operations, because that's the PvE multiplayer component, which you can play all of it single player, by the way. So they'll give you bots for this. But that's where you'll pick the different classes and you can like level up the classes and you'll unlock different guns and stuff and you can build and all this stuff. So it's meant for replayability. But those missions are like the side missions that happen. So during the campaign, Titus branches off with another team, and the operations are basically what that other team is doing. So you'll get those as you go through the campaign. It'll give you the option to either go to the next campaign mission or you can play this operation to see what this squad was doing, while you're doing that type of thing. Which is nice. Now, here's the bad thing, because this is, like you said, give me the 360 type Gears of War thing for back in the day. Boom, we here. So there's pluses and minuses to that. The minuses is there's not a lot of maps in this game, and they didn't turn on the multiplayer servers and stuff literally until it came out for the early access. So I wasn't able to test it. Now, it doesn't necessarily change my review score because they are going to do free updates where they're adding maps and stuff like that. But I don't know. I've put quite a bit of time in the multiplayer so far, and I swear to God, it's only like 3 maps. Like I don't think I've seen any more than 3. Not to mention, it was pretty broke opening day when they turned it on. Like one of the multiplayer modes, of which there are, let me see, there's Annihilation, There's 3. So there's Annihilation, which is this straight up deathmatch, team deathmatch. Then there's one that's like Hardpoint in Call of Duty, where an objective spawns and both teams have to converge on it and basically capture it by keeping everybody else off of it while they hold it, and it'll randomly, jump around the map. And then there's Domination, where there's 3 different points around, and you have to control at least 2 to be getting points. The Hardpoint mode didn't even work the first like 2 days at all. You would go into it and you would just sit in like an empty lobby, and then you would go out of it and the game would like kick you off the network and you'd have to restart the whole game.
I feel like we're back. I feel like we're back with 360 era, because I had the same issue with another game I was reviewing where the network stuff didn't work.
Nice.
So like I feel like we're there, boys. We're back. We're back in the 360 generation.
Yep. That's where we are. Now, all that being said, the lack of maps and the different network issues and shit, it's still a lot of fun. It's 6v6. No, it's not 6v6. It's more than 6. Jesus, I don't even remember how many people. It's a fun multiplayer game when everything is working. They'll get patches out and get the stuff together. But mainly the campaign and the operations mode, all, work out fine. And is fantastic and is definitely worthy of the 9 that I gave it. Not to mention and I talked about this in the review, the production values on this game is insane. Like this game just looks so good. Even because Space Marines are in this huge bulky armor. Like as you go up and down incline, like you'll see them like kind of compensate, bending and moving forward. Like they'll change how they're walking over there. And I know that seems small, but there are a lot of games that don't do that when characters are going up and down steps. Like they just keep going forward. It's like they're floating up. Like it's nice to see that type of thing. And just the heavy footsteps of the Space Marines. Like they understood the assignment. Like they knew what the fuck they was doing with this 40K game. Like if you're a fan of 40K, like this is the best 40K game that's out right now. And I mean, they come out every other month, so we'll have another one next month. But right now, this is the top. Like it is so good. And they are going to add. I don't know if I said that they are going to add more operations, because right now I think there are 6 of them, and they're pretty decently in length. But I mean, there are people that were already like level 20 and stuff like that, which is crazy to me because the experience system is kind of slow. Like it's not. They don't give you a whole lot. So these people have been fucking playing. And I'm like, damn, I reviewed the game.
Dude,
like, and I'm level like 7.
it don't matter, because like what Astrobot launched on Friday or Thursday night into Friday morning, the motherfuckers had beat it by the end of Friday. And I was like, dude, I've had this game for like a week and a half, and like I just finished it right before my review.
That is insane.
Like y'all ain't got
jobs.
rush
through stuff, man.
Right. Like, just enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Nobody enjoys games anymore. They just want to beat it and be like, that wasn't very long.
It's about producing content.
Yeah. That's, God, the content from Astrobot has been insufferable. And I'm like, how can you take one of the most delightful video games that has come out in like forever and be miserable about it? Like, I don't...
Really?
They can be miserable about anything, Ken.
That is true.
But man, all you got to do is see Astrobot wave at the camera one time, and you're like, dude, how?
Everything I've seen about that game, because I plan on, I'm going to get it for sure. I don't know, it's just cute. Like I'm like, oh my god, and I don't even like, have the same, like I definitely have nostalgia and stuff for PlayStation, but mine is not as deep as y'all's. Like, because some of the stuff that you was talking about, I was like, I don't know who that is. Like, but then other ones, I'm like, oh damn, look at that. Oh, that person in there. Oh my god. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how anybody can look at Astrobot and
I mean, we'll talk about the Days Gone guy later.
You know what? I saw that, and that we'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it, because I saw that and I was like, bro, for real though? Anyways, Warhammer Space Marine 2, absolutely great.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think it's actually out yet, because I think it's still
it's
in
out
early
this
access.
week.
Monday.
Yeah,
it comes out Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
cool.
out for the plebs that don't want to pay the $1,000 version or whatever.
And I swear, I feel like games need to stop doing that, because what it turns into is that the early players, like the people that's paying for this early access, end up being beta testers. Because these people that get it Monday aren't going to run into any of the network issue. Well, I guess they might, depending on how many
Did you see? Did you see what the beta tester for Star Wars had to go through?
I did not. I must have missed that.
So on PlayStation 5, there was a bug in the game that if you played it early and they patched it, they deleted your save.
Oh, nice.
So you had to start all over again. They gave you, as a compensation, they gave you a trinket for your ship.
Hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. See, again, we need to stop this, because the early payers are just beta testers. That's
Pretty
so
much.
messed up.
Yeah.
Damn.
Can you imagine if a reviewer was like close to the end of his review and like PS5 version he had to start over?
Man.
Like, fuck you, dude.
But yeah, no, that's it. That's all I got.
All right, Wombat, show us what you got.
All right. So I'll just quickly mention that, as I said, I played Star Wars Outlaws and was a little bit bored, but not bored enough that I'm not going to keep playing it. I'll go back to it once I finish the review game that I'm playing, and so that review game is NBA 2K25. So I gotta be careful here about what I say, but the not all the content, just as an explanation for why our review was not posted at embargo, all the content was not available until the embargo was up. Very small amount of it was.
But there were reviews.
Well, what I'm going to tell you is that if you read a review of NBA 2K25 that was posted at 8 a.m. on Wednesday, just know that regardless of what that reviewer may or may not have said, the content was not available. So let me start with some of the good stuff. So it's got a ton in here, including my GM. Where it's a GM mode basically, but it involves some role playing game elements with dialogue choices and making decisions about the franchise and the like. I will say that the on court character models and any of the off court character models that you can tell were built off of a real person look good. The ones that you can tell were not built off a real person do not. They look really kind of weird. But I had several issues playing my GM, and issues that I have not yet confirmed are gone. I haven't run into them again, but that doesn't mean they're gone. So I've got a little more playthrough to do before I can confirm that they've fixed them. So the first one is the craziest one, and the guys here can attest that I was absolutely losing my mind in the Discord as I was playing this. So several times I started a game in my GM mode, and the game started off, and I'm like, man, people are missing a lot of shots, like a lot more shots than usual. And it turns out that there was some sort of glitch where not only were people missing shots, nobody could make anything at all on the team that I was controlling or on the other team. And it was like everybody's stats got dropped all the way down to 0 because everybody was running like they were in molasses. And I'm like, you know what? We're just going to keep this going and see how long it goes. And I literally made it to overtime at a 0-0. And the only way the game ended up being over is because somebody got fouled at the line and happened to make a free throw shot.
So the game ended 1-0.
The game ended after the end of overtime at 1-0.
Wow.
It's like a hockey game. What the hell?
I'm like, okay, that's weird, but maybe it was an isolated thing. I played another game, it was fine, and then I played another game, and the same thing happened. It was 0-0, nobody could score, so I had to quit actually out of the game, not just leave the game, but go out to the home menu of my Xbox and close out and go back in order for it to fix itself. So that was a weird issue. And then the thing that really frustrated me in my GM was the one of my goals that the owner gave me at the beginning of the season was you have to win the season series against the Pelicans. And I had 2 games on the calendar against the Pelicans. So in order to win the season series, you have to win both, right? If you split, that's not a win. That's just a tie. So I'm like, okay, those are the games I'm going to play. I'll simulate all the rest, but I'm going to play those 2 games to make sure that in this first season that I accomplish the owner's goal. So I played both the games against the Pelicans. I beat them handily in both games. And the end of the season rolled around, and it says objective failed, with a note that says the Pelicans are our biggest rival. You have to win the series against them. And I'm like, I did. I won both games, but it didn't matter. It failed the objective anyway, as if I hadn't won both games against them. So that was really frustrating because there was.
Did you win the secret series? Did you win the secret series? That's probably what it was.
That's probably what it was. It was probably a secret hidden series of games.
Yeah, that's what it was talking
and
about.
I was even like, you know what? Maybe I missed something. Like maybe there were more games or something that I missed. So I went back and even looked at the real Charlotte Hornets schedule for the year, and they only play the Pelicans twice. So I have no idea why it failed this objective, but it sure did. Once you're actually on the court, the game plays pretty well. Plays similar to last year, but they've added this new thing where instead of hand animations for a lot of the dribbles and stuff like that, they're using, like, it sounds like machine learning trained on actual NBA footage for dribble moves and for just the way the players move around the court. And so I will say it does look, in some cases, a little more realistic. You don't get hung up in animations and stuff the way that you could in prior games. At the same time, it does make it look a little less smooth than hand animation looks. So it's kind of a weird trade-off. Players seem to have a little more inertia when they first start off, which is good. Makes it a little more realistic, but it also feels a little different than playing it in the past. I won't say it feels worse, just different. So that'll take some getting used to, I think. One thing they added, which I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in, is people have been complaining for years in this game that it's too hard, that the shooting's too hard, it's too hard to get open looks, and that once you have an open look, that the meter is too sensitive. Like it's too hard to get an excellent green shot off. In some ways, I agree with that. In some ways, I think it's just sometimes folks don't really understand the game of basketball, so they don't understand what you have to do to get players open. But what they've added this year is the ability to change the way the shot meter influences your shots. So they've got this new sort of setting where you have the ability to, they call them shot timing profiles, basically, where you can change how jump shot timing affects what happens to your shot. And so you can set it to where how much your timing impacts whether the ball goes in or not is based on the difficulty level. So if you say, I always play on pro, I want the amount that my timing affects my shot to be based on the fact that I play on pro, you can do that. Or, play on rookie, right? I want to make it super easy to make shots, and I play on rookie all the time. So I want to do difficulty based. If you are brand new to the game, I would recommend that setting if you're playing on rookie, because it's going to make everything a lot easier for you to play. That's also the default, by the way, so be aware of that. By default, your shot timing is going to be based on the difficulty level that you select. They also have the ability to completely ignore your shot timing, and it just uses whatever the real player you're playing with shot percentage is. Do not pick that if you are playing on My Career. At least not at the beginning, because just like in the past, your fucking My Career player starts at a 60 overall. You're somehow a 5-star recruit that's a 60 overall player. We'll get to that in a second. So don't pick that if you're starting out My Career, because you're gonna struggle and it's gonna be awful. Then you have your risk reward tiers, where you have a low risk reward, a normal risk reward, and a high risk reward. Low risk reward, the timing affects you a little bit, but it's more important that you're open and that your player has a good shot rating. Normal risk reward is actually the way the old 2Ks worked. And when I say old, really, I mean last year and previous. So you do get credit for being open and having a high shot percentage, but your timing also affects it by a decent amount, not a ton, but by a decent amount. And then there's high risk reward, where basically you can be covered, and you can have a low shot percentage. But if you are really good at shot timing and you can pull off a green release every time, you're going to make a lot of those shots. So I do like the fact that they've got this customization in there now, because shot timing seems to be the biggest complaint every year from folks. And so the ability to sort of tweak how much that affects your gameplay experience, I think, is pretty important. Just be aware, if you do high risk reward, slightly early or slightly late still count as misses, quote unquote. And so those are going to hurt a slightly early or slightly late release on high risk reward is going to hurt you a lot more than it would hurt you on normal or low. So unless you're pulling off excellence almost every time, I would not do high risk reward. You also have the ability to do similar stuff with layups and free throw timing as well. So that's a big change in the way the game plays, and a positive one, I think. Outside of that, I mean, I've had some issues and some weird decisions. So there's a mode it's called it's not really a mode. Within My Career, there's 4 quests that are called Heart of a Dynasty, and you can play them at any time, and you can play them multiple times to try to get 3 stars. Basically, you can get 1, 2, or 3 stars depending on how you perform. And they're basically like the flashback quests that the previous 2Ks have had, where you get a sense of what your player was doing in high school and in select ball and in the FIBA under 19 championships, and then in a gym run before your NBA career starts. And there are quests associated with those missions, I'll say, where you have to do certain things to earn 3 stars. 2 weird decisions. One, the goals don't adjust dynamically depending on what your quarter settings are. So, for an example, in the last Heart of the Dynasty mission, you get the choice of either, when you're trash talking, you get the choice of either telling a player that you're going to outscore them, and you have to outscore them by 5 points, or that you're going to lock them down, and then you have to prevent them from scoring 6 points. Neither of those change if you play on 5-minute quarters, 12-minute quarters, or anywhere in between. So if you are playing on the default, which is 5-minute quarters, it is very, very difficult to win the game by 7 and outscore your player by 5 when you only have 5 minutes to do it. But if you bump it up to 12-minute quarters, it's much easier, to win the game by 7 and outscore your other player by 5. That doesn't change. The goal doesn't change. So really, as you're playing through Heart of the Dynasty, there's no reason not to play on 12-minute quarters, even if you really like playing on 5, because most of the objectives involve outscoring one other player or outscoring the team, and they're much easier to do on 12-minute quarters than they are in 5. So even if you like playing short games, I'd recommend switching it to 12-minute quarters before you play those missions. And then another weird decision is when you're playing in my career, you basically always have the my career default camera where it follows your player. For some reason, all the Heart of the Dynasty missions do use that same camera angle, except the last one. The last one switches to the 2K default camera angle for no apparent reason. So you have to go in and change it to the My Player camera for that mission specifically if you want to use the camera you've been using for the rest of the game, which is a very strange decision. I also have issues with face scan. I always do face scan, or at least have the last couple of years done face scan in these games. This year's face scan is terrible. I don't know if it's the app or if it's the game itself, but it's bad. The face scan does not come out as good as it has in the past. And then because it didn't come out as good, I had to try to do it multiple times. And I'd say a good 75% of the time I tried to load my face scan, the game just hard locked at 50% with no way for me to get out of it. So I had to, again, close out of the game and then quit it from the main menu to be able to move forward. So buyer beware if you like to do face scan in these. I eventually just gave up and used a default head and made some adjustments to that. Other problems. The game still has issue with the AI on picks and screens, which is fucking annoying as hell because it has had this problem for years and they still have not fixed it. So if you don't know anything about basketball, a pick or a screen is where when someone else has the ball, you go up and basically stand in the defender's way, right, to block them from the player who has the ball, so that the player who has the ball, for example, if you pick them to the right, the player who has the ball can dribble around you to the right, and your body will block the defender, and they can hopefully get an open lane to the basket or get an open lane to pass it to somebody. This game cannot, for the life of it, figure out when your playable character is trying to set a pick. It just cannot figure it out. And I have had so many times where I set a pick and the ball carrier just does nothing, just stands there, or until someone else sets a pick on the other side and then they go that way, or literally multiple times a game, I will set a pick, the guy who has the ball will do nothing, someone else will come up and set a pick directly next to me or directly behind me, and then they go to the right because the AI cannot figure out when your My Player is trying to set a pick. Just cannot figure it out. And it's annoying because screens are a really important part of getting open men, and the game just cannot figure it out. So it's frustrating as shit, and it's a problem that they've had for years now. So I hope they can fix that in a patch because it's very problematic. Outside of that, I mean, my career is basically what you expect it to be. They have changed it a little bit, so it's more about team performance and less about individual performance, which is nice. Winning games matters. Having high team rating or teammate ratings and high chemistry matters, which is important. And a nice welcome change to sort of the stat chasing that the prior games were. I mean, a lot of stuff's similar. The game is still a microtransaction fest. You still spend virtual currency to level up your player. You get a little bit more of it per game, it seems like this time around. The version that they sent us to review is the All-Star Edition, which also comes with 100,000 VC. I purposely, for my review, am not spending that. I'm just spending the VC that I earn from missions within the game and not dipping below that 100,000 level, because I want to see what leveling is like if you don't buy the All-Star Edition. And it's slow.
I believe it.
It feels a little faster, but it also feels a little faster because you're leveling, your 3-point shot from 55 to 60, right? Once you get up into the 80s, 70s, it costs a lot more. So it's built to sell you virtual currency again. Which is frustrating as shit. And I will say it until they make the change. They absolutely should disconnect the career mode from the online mode. This version of it, I don't remember this being the case in the past, but it's definitely the case now. This version of my career requires online. You cannot play it if you're not online. And your online player is, of course, tied to the player that you're using in career mode, and I fucking hate it. There's no reason, if you're the type of player that wants to go online and play street ball against other people, and so you want to have a 99 rated character, you want to pump a whole bunch of money into the game so that you can raise your stats to 99 and play against other people online, that's awesome. More power to you. But don't make it tied to the hip with my career, so that the my career progression has to be slow as shit unless you're spending real money. And they have not learned that lesson. It's still tied to virtual currency. You still can't level up effectively unless you are spending money. And it's that by itself takes several points off of whatever score that I would give this game, because I can't in good conscience give this game more than a 7 when I know that it's built to funnel people to online so that they spend money on virtual currency. It's just it's not cool, and it's especially not cool when you sell people a $90 All-Star Edition of the game, give them 100,000 extra VC that's only enough to probably get them to a level 70 or 72, and then expect them to either grind for 200 hours to get their character up into the 90s or spend the money. Because most people don't want to wait 200 hours to play online with other people. And the only way you can effectively play online against other people is if you have a character that's in the 90s for sure. So it's super frustrating, and I'm baffled that they still haven't fixed that, but I'm even more baffled that people continue to buy this game brand new every year and spend this money to level their character up every year. Like, it's the same fucking game. But the problem is everybody that's playing it online switches to the new version. So if you're not on the new version, there's nobody to play against, or at least less people to play against. So I understand why they do it from a monetary standpoint, but as a gamer who just wants to play the career mode, it fucking sucks. I'll just say it. The monetization of this game sucks. And it frustrates me. And I'm not the type of person that likes to, generally speaking, comment on other people's reviews. So I'm not gonna name names or open up any feuds here or whatever, but it frustrates the shit out of me to see reviews come out on this game, not only before the online stuff was available, but that either give the monetization a pass or don't even mention it, because it's such a huge part of the game, and it's super annoying.
Yep.
I will say also, because there's been some hay made about it, the game, it does have a go-kart racing around a track. It's like time trials. They are giving away 1 million virtual currency as the prize for this current period of time, where people are trying to get the fastest time. I did my first try, and I'm like, how in the fuck are people getting these times in the 1 minute and 25-second range? There's no way. And so I switched the ghost that's on you with the on the track with you to be the current leader, and realized very quickly it's because you can turn around, drive backwards to a certain point of the track, turn back around and come back, and it counts as a full lap. So, so the people that have the fastest times are turning around, driving backwards to a certain point in the track, turning around again and coming back, and it counts as a full lap. That's how they're getting the times that they're getting.
Hey,
so,
they figured it out, so good for them.
Yeah, good for them. But it's clear that there's a certain section near the end of the track that lap progress is only being tracked by if you've passed this spot. And so people have figured that out and have taken advantage of it. So it adds, I guess, a different challenge to try to get the top time. You're not actually racing the track the way it's designed. You're just trying to cheat it as fast as possible.
It reminds me of when you can like reload the final save in a game and get the achievement for beating it on hard or some shit.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yep, I remember that.
So anyway, I know it sounds like I'm super negative on the game. The game is not much better or worse than last year's game. It's just increasingly frustrating to me that A, some of the stuff that's been broken for a while still isn't fixed, and B, that we're still having this same microtransaction conversation about this game over and over and over again. This is the basketball version of Madden, where because we have no competition, they can just keep mining these people for virtual currency, and it's frustrating, especially since WWE 2K also uses virtual currency, and it is nowhere near as exploitative as this game is. I mean, not even close. So I know they know how to make a game with virtual currency that's not exploitative, but it's not this one.
Well, my guess is because NBA is actually making it, like the money's coming in.
Oh yeah. I mean, there are already a ton of folks online that have 99 rank players.
That's insane.
A ton. So, it literally, if you're going to play this game online, if you want to play this game online and you want to play it online day one, you almost have to spend the money. It's just the nature of the beast. Yeah.
They need competition. We need
100%
another basketball game, and we need another football game. Like,
100%
Jesus.
Bring back NBA Inside Drive.
Or NBA Live.
Oh, they tried
When it
that.
was good.
That failed.
Well, that's because they had like the C team working on it.
Yeah.
They really did, because I remember I played one of them, because I think it came out for like 2 or 3 years, and it wasn't good.
It was pretty rough. But yeah, it's again, if it was just the online part of this, the guys playing street ball and stuff against each other, or 5-on-5 or whatever against each other, and you want to load that mode up with microtransactions and force people to pay money if they want to be ranked 99, whatever. I still think that's shitty, but to wrap the career mode up in that, and thus sort of affect the progression of the career mode, and not even just the progression, but the fact that you're this 5-star recruit, highly drafted prospect who's a 60 overall, because they need to, their progression system is such that they need to start you at a 60 overall to encourage you to spend on VC is so ridiculous. I don't like the progression system in MLB The Show, but it is leagues better than this. At least in that, yes, you can spend real money on chips so that you can buy better equipment and stuff, but you get good equipment pretty regularly in the game without spending any money. This game, the progression's pretty busted for sure.
Man.
Yeah, so nothing I'm saying though is really any different from last year. So if you love the game last year and you don't care about the microtransactions, feel free, right? Go for it. But to me, between the glitches that I've had and the progression system, it's just it's disappointing.
Another $70.
Yep.
Or not, or 90 if you want to start out with 100,000 VC.
True.
Which sounds like that's mandatory. If like, geez.
Yeah, I mean, so for example, I just finished a game and I earned about a little less than 1,000, um, a little less than 1,000 VC, and that's enough to take my. It's not enough even to take my 3-point shot from 60 to 62. It is just enough, basically, to take my speed from 69 to 71. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 different categories that you can put attributes into.
Jesus.
So that'll give you a sense. And obviously, it's if you want to take something from 45 to 60, the path there is a lot easier than once you get over 60 and have to try to pay for attribute upgrades. So, yeah, it's absurd.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably quickly, let's see. Let me increase all my shot stats here real quick while I'm on here and just try to spend this 100. So if I spend the 100,000 that you get with the All-Star Edition, that lets me max out mid-range shot, 3-point shot, free throw, and get to 89 on pass accuracy. And it takes my overall from 61 to 76.
And how much is 100,000 in real money?
Let's see. Get VC. They don't have 100,000 option. 75,000. You pay for 50 and get 25 free, and it is. Hold on. $21
Bruh.
to get 75,000.
A third of the cost of the game to upgrade
Yep.
your character 12 points.
Yep, and keep in mind that 100,000 that I just mentioned that took me from a 61 to a 76 overall only allowed me to max out 3 attributes and get one other one to 89. There are 21 attributes total. You're not going to max all of them out because it's just not the way the game works. But think about the fact that attributes are more expensive when you get up into the higher tiers. So, for example, to go from in mid-range shot, to go from a 65 to a 66 is about 400 VC. Okay? Once you get up over 85, to go from 85 to 86 is 1,300. So once you spend your 100,000 and get to 76, you're going to have to spend way more than that to get to 99. The next 15 that'll get you to 91 is going to be way more expensive than the 15 that got you from 61 to 76. So you're probably talking, I don't know, 40 or 50 bucks, at least, if you want to max somebody out, maybe 60. Yeah, probably 60.
That's crazy, man. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? Hell, we're already deep in this. I can actually max all these attributes out and then just not spend the VC. Hold on, I can back out before I spend it. This is, I know, compelling radio, but I think it's important to let people know how much it would cost to max a character out, because it should be a consideration. Oh, well, you know what? It doesn't. Oh, there we go. Oh, it doesn't let me do it. It won't let me spend more than 200,000 at a time. 200,000 got me to 86 overall. And there's a deal on 200,000, so let's see how much 200,000 costs. $50. $50 to get you to 86.
That is just crazy.
Yeah. So it's probably at least another 150,000 to get to 99, I bet. So probably $80, I guess, to max your character out on top of what you spent on the game. Insane. And I'm not deep enough into the career yet to know. Like I said, it feels like the amount you earn per game is a little more. But last year I did the math after I had been in my career for a while, and I think it would have taken me about somewhere between 180 or 200 hours of playtime to max the character out just through playing the game. Which is insane. Insane.
Oh, but you know what? People keep paying it. So
I was about to say,
sure do.
People keep buying it. Like,
yep.
We got nobody to blame but ourselves.
Nope.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh, goodness. All right. Anything else?
No, that's enough.
That's enough. All right. I'll try to do this quick. What we got here? Anything? We talked about Space Marine. I played a little bit of that. That was cool. I did the tutorial of Age of Mythology. That game seems like it's really awesome. I don't know when I'll get to play it, but it seems really good.
My God, I forgot about that. That's right. That's one of the reviews that I had done. Yeah, I played that too. It is good, especially if you're a fan of the older game, the original game, I should say. Like the graphics is better. The control scheme that they have a controller is great. I reviewed it on PC, but I finally got to play it on Xbox. But the controller stuff is good. Yeah, it's. I hope they add. Actually, they're supposed to be adding another game mode. I think later. And I think they're doing an expansion because I know they did like a couple of them when they redid Age of Empires 2. But yeah, it is good. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was like, I literally only played through the tutorial just to see if I would like it, and I was like, you know what, this is pretty fun. So
yeah,
eventually at some point, and that's just what time of year it is. Like I'll see it at some point.
That's why I haven't gone back to it because there's just so much stuff.
Yeah, I was messing around with the Castlevania collection, the Dominus collection. I actually started a game of Order of Ecclesia. I was playing through it. I was like, man, but it feels like I feel like I stole it. Like it's an emulator or something. Cause like the right hand side of the screen, like has all these, the way they break it up is you can switch the screen to like your main screen on the left, and then on the right you got your map and like some enemy information. So basically the second screen. You can also like change it to where it's side by side, or like they have different ways to display the DS screen, and like the things you used to do to draw, like you just use the right analog. Like it's really well done, but it feels like a user hack or something. It's actually really cool. But that game is like all three of those games are still fucking amazing. So, what else did I play? Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. I can finally talk about this game. So, this was the game I was referring to earlier where the network shit was messed up. So, when I first got the game, I would go to the title screen. It would say I was in a queue to log in, and I would never get in, even though I was one of one.
Nice.
So I could never get in. I finally got in. I played for a couple hours. I'll be honest with you, it's the most mid-ass shit you're ever going to play. Like, the graphics are meh. Like, the control is fine. It just does nothing. And then I got an email saying that when the game launches, there was a bug with the game, so they had to reset everybody's progress. And I just threw up my hands. I'm like, you know what? This game is not good enough for me to care about doing all of that again. I don't know. At this point, I don't know if I will review it or not. Like, I played it and I was just like, this is just... It feels like the Wish version of Forza Horizon. Like, it's just...
That's what I was going to ask. Which version of Forza they were chasing with it?
It's an open world, like, drive around, do races. You can create your character at the beginning, but it's literally pick a template and then change their hair. Like, that's all it is. For some reason, they felt like it needed, like a weapon wheel type mechanic where you could roll your window down or honk your horn. And I'm just like, why would I ever want to roll my window down? Like, why do I care?
Oh shit! They really want you to be immersed.
Yeah, you can turn your windshield wipers on. You can turn your hazard. I said, why?
Yep. That's crazy.
Like, nobody's ever gonna do this. And then you race, and it's like, well, it plays fine, but like the races are so boring. Who the fuck needed Test Drive in 2024?
No one.
What was the last Test Drive Unlimited 2 game came out in like the late aughts? It was like 2008 or 2000 or some shit like that. It's been like 15 years and they like, okay, let's bring back Test Drive Unlimited. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I just got nothing, man. I'm sorry. I don't have anything for that game. That game we joked about last week, the Elon and the Divine Proof, where it looks like a Pixar game on the cover, but then like, you look at the screen. Like, that game is literally like one of the most jank-ass platformers I've ever played, where all you do is collect hamburgers. I swear to Christ, the first level is collect 250 hamburgers. I'm like, 25 in, I'm like, why am I doing this?
Right. You're the Hamburglar. That's what this is.
I was like,
what
man,
the heck?
I'm going to be honest with you, the indie games this week were super disappointing. Like, I didn't play anything that, like, even remotely interested me.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I played this game called Mudness Off-Road 4x4 Truck Car Simulator, which is the greatest fucking name for a video game ever. I took a turn and it told me my engine was damaged. I'm like, yep, I'm done. I don't...
Off of one turn.
Off of one turn, like I hit a rock. It's like, oh, your engine's damaged. I'm like, fuck, this truck sucks.
Right.
So, I'm playing like 4 games on PlayStation 5 for review. I talked about Black Myth. I need to go back to that. I kind of got roped into another PlayStation game. 2 of the games I can't talk about. I'll talk about those next week. And then, well, let's just do it. It's Astrobot time. It's here. Yeah, that game's amazing. Like, I'm going to say this, and it's going to get people mad. It's up there with Mario. Like, it's that good. And it is essentially, so everybody who bought a PS5, you got that Astrobot game. And everybody's comment was like, oh my god, if they'd make a whole game out of this, it would be amazing. Well, they made a whole game out of that. Just think of it as like they expanded. So like, there's 5 worlds that you can go to. Each one has like a series of levels that you can go through. They have collectibles. They're all themed. So like there's an underwater level, there's a level where you can switch between night and day and it changes the platforms, or there's a level that's entirely dedicated that's like old school voxels that look like retro style. There's redacted. There's like themed levels at the end of every galaxy that are based on other PlayStation franchises where they change the mechanics, and it's really, really cool. There's also power-ups that you can get that some levels are themed around. For example, you can get like a pair of gloves with frogs on them and they become like punching gloves, so like you're playing Punch-Out through the whole level. There's another one that's like a dog on your back that like shoots you as a rocket across the level. And like it's really cool. Obviously, the collectibles are going to be super nostalgic. So like some of them are just bots. Like you just rescue these bots, and then other ones are themed after PlayStation games. And some of the pools in here are really fucking deep. There are some that are going to make like Ryan like cheer when he sees it. Like, oh my god, I can't believe they got that. There's some in there where people look at it and be like, what the fuck is that? And then you look it up and it's like this old ass obscure PS2 game that like 5 people played. Like it's crazy. There's a bunch of third party stuff in there. There's one missing that's really weird. Like this company doesn't have one character out of the 300, and by the way, it's 301 bots. There's a final hidden bot. Which is hidden behind. So you've got the standard levels that you go through, and they're pretty straightforward. You got 7 bots, 3 puzzle pieces, collect them, themed level, go through, blah, yada, yada, yada. There's also these challenges that you can get, where it's like you need to finish this level that's literally just like a battle with a certain type of enemy. For example, there's one called a construction zone. There's like 5 of them, and the floor is constantly falling out underneath it, so you've got to beat the enemies before you fall through the floor, kind of thing. There's also what they call, I guess, like the face button challenges. So in each world, you unlock 4 levels that are themed off of one of the face buttons. So like in the first world, it's the circle button. The second world, it's the X button. Or as they call it in here, the cross button. These levels are the hardest thing in the game. These are the things that the super challenging people want to play. You basically have to complete this obstacle course run, sometimes using an item, sometimes not. You have to do it in one shot. You can't die. And some of them are so hard that they took me forever to beat. Now, if you unlock everything in the game, you unlock this last level that's called like the greatest ultimate challenge. I kid you not, I played this thing like 100 times before I could beat it. But I could not stop playing it. Like I was like, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And when I finally did it, it was super satisfying. But it's one of the hardest platforming sections I've ever played. It is so hard. And the bots you get for finishing it, for me, it was a chef's kiss. It's literally the last bot you get. It's the 301st bot that you get.
Nice.
And it's really good. The hub area is a crash site where like your ship crashes. As you collect bots, they show up there. They kind of hang out in their own areas. The gotcha machine buys them like accessories. So I don't really want to spoil any of the bots that are in it because I don't know, what you've seen, what you haven't seen. But think of it as like if you had like a character from Hot Shots Golf, they'd get a golf club kind of thing. And then while they're in the world, they like use it. Like you can walk up to them and you can see them using. You can interact with them. Like you can dance with them. You can take pictures with them. Like it's really.
That's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here.
I've seen a lot of them because I don't care about spoilers. Like I haven't seen the hidden one, but I scrolled through. Somebody had like a video up of every single one that was in the game, and there are some deep pull. I was like, damn, I don't even know who that is. I had to look them up. But yeah, a lot of stuff. I was like, oh shit! Like I'm excited to play it. Like that game is cool. Yeah, it sounds cool rather.
It's easily right now. I'm gonna have an internal debate at the end of the year between this and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like this game is just. It's so good. It's so good. The music is amazing. It took me about, I think, like 9 hours to finish. I was kind of doing like some of the stuff, but I also wanted to finish it before it came out because we got review code very late. I don't know what the deal was behind that. Like, because there's nothing wrong with the game. Like, it's kind of flawless. Like, it runs beautifully, it plays beautifully. So I don't know why review codes came out so late. But I did want to see the end boss before I wrote my review, so I did that. So now I went back and I'm kind of cleaning up the collectibles and finishing the bots. And I finished it yesterday with 301 bots, all the puzzle pieces, like all that stuff's done. So the only thing I have left is to clean up some trophies. And then in the themed levels for PlayStation games, there's like collectibles that are the same collectibles that are in the real games. Like, again, don't want to spoil what they are, but they're all there. So those are just the last few things I've got to clean up. But after that, like, I'm at like 16 hours now played, and that's almost 100%. So it's a decent chunk of game. So
yeah,
it's really good. Like, I don't know anybody who would not have fun with this game. And it's really weird to see the conversation online about this game. It's really disheartening to see people use it as a weapon, whether it's with a fanboy console war or the fact that, like, it's a kiddie game or whatever. Like, just stop being miserable. It's just...
yeah.
Ugh. I don't know why we can't just play video games and have fun. Anyway, speaking of video games, holy shit. We're still continuing in that crazy release schedule. So let's talk about what's out this week. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. Like we mentioned earlier, Warhammer Space Marine 2 is out on Monday. The expansion pack for Persona 3 Reload, Episode 8, Aegis, I don't know how you say that. The Answer is out this week. Rugrats Adventure in Gameland, which I'm also playing. I'll talk about that next week. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, the Silver Sharps edition. Even that fucking game's got one of those big stupid versions.
Everything is doing it now. Like, that's like the new hotness. I don't get it.
Yars Rising, which is, I guess, a sequel to Yars Revenge. Crossy Road Castle. Kiki, a vibrant 3D platformer. Fabledom. Garden Witch Life. Grapple Dogs, Cosmic Canines. I think I played that on the Switch. That game's pretty cool. Lollipop Chainsaw Repop is out this week, which, I'm going to be honest with you, I've been trying to get a hold of a PR person for that game, and I can't find one. Like, I do not know who is handling that game.
It's a secret, apparently.
Dude, like, the only people listed on it is that developer that's making it. So I don't know if they're self-publishing or what's going on. But I have not been able to get a hold of anybody for a code for that game. So I'm curious if there will be any reviews this week. Mellowbot, A Last Song, Pico Park 2, Self-Loss, the Jackbox Naughty Pack. Oh boy. Train Sim World 5 Deluxe Edition, UFL, Wild Bastards, which is the sequel to, what was the first one called? Wild something, right?
It was Void Bastards.
Void Bastards. Okay, so this one's Wild. Yeah. Anthony's playing that currently, so he'll probably talk about that next week. Deep Beyond, Edge of Sanity, Funko Fusion. Also, I could not get a hold of anybody for that game.
Okay.
I tried a few times, and like I can't find anybody doing it. Metro Quester Osaka, The Last Faith, Unholy, and World of Outlaws Dirt Racing 24 Gold Edition. That's exciting. PlayStation 5, I think, is all the same games, but let me double check. Yep. Oh, we got Mo Waifu H Genius.
Oh, Lord.
I don't even know what that is. The Last Faith, the Nycrux Edition, and Indica. And Evo Tinction, which I'm actually playing that game, but that is a horrible name. I mean, what is Evo Tinction? Like
I have no idea.
No idea.
Like evolution and extinction put together? Is that what?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
That's stupid. Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I don't think there's anything here that's not everywhere. But isn't the Marvel collection this week? I don't see it on here.
I thought the
Marvel vs. Capcom collection. Isn't it out this week?
Hold on, I'm checking.
Why don't I see it on this list? I swear it's out this week. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, it's out the 12th.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see
But
it.
but it is only digital. Maybe that list is showing.
Oh, I see it on the Switch list. Sorry. Yeah, there it is. It wasn't on the PS4
Okay.
list, which is weird. All right. Nintendo Switch, Deli Space, Gold Digger, the Simulator, Hard Time 3,
Okay.
Customers from Hell, Elsie, Sheeran the Wanderer, the Mystery Dungeon of Serpent Coil Island Plus Pack 1, Uno Legacy Edition Code in a Box, 10-Second Ghost, Aiden in Danger, Alien Planet. It's like Alien but with an A. Alien. Beneath Orisa. Besiege. Brain Training, Hiragana, and Katakana Search. Caravan Sand Witch, as in like witch. Halloween witch kind of thing. Celestia, Chain of Fate. Doomsday Paradise. Downfall. Eden Genesis, Egg Console, Dragon Slayer. What's a Dragon Slayer? Dragon
Drake
Slayer. My voice is going. Dragon Slayer, The Legend of Heroes, PC 8801 MK2SR. Those always test me.
That was the whole name?
That's the whole name.
Jesus Christ.
Goobin Balloons DX. I thought it said Goonin Balloons. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Just 1 minute memory test with masterpieces. Line time. That Lollipop Chainsaw thing's coming out on Switch, by the way, which is crazy. Make It Crepe. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. There it is. Nano Apostle. Next of Kin. Nimbus Fall. Nubia and Nubia 2. Or sorry, Nubla and Nubla 2. Pixel Game Maker Series The Willow Man. Road Defense Outsiders, Self-Loss, Spot the Difference, Ukiyo E36 Views of Mount Fuji. Jesus Christ, look at these titles. Supermarket Simulator Pro. The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Isekai Chronicles DLC 2, The Fairy Queen's Labyrinth.
That's all one game?
That's all one game.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
an anime, too.
The next one is the Hokkaido serial murder case, the Okhotsk disappearance, Memories in Ice, tearful figurine. That's also one word, one name.
Like, who is naming these games?
Absolute Fear, Aouni. Captain.
Aouni.
I mean, it's Aooni. I don't know how to pronounce that. Captain Velvet Meteor, The Jump Plus Dimensions, My Universe 2-in-1 Culinary Collection, and My Universe 2-in-1 Style Pack, Real Cake Maker, Samurai Kento, Supermarket Manager Empire 2024, Ugly, and Warzone Chronicles 2 Warfare Shooter Zombie.
Oh, they trying to fake Call of Duty.
There's like 1,000 of those on the Switch. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
All right, it's time to do the news. Do we have like a sad trombone? Some taps?
We do. I mean, we've got something I'll say is relatively close to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We also have this.
I mean, both of those are relevant for the fact that Concord is being delisted on September 6th. Sony's offering a full refund and is looking for a way. 2 weeks, man.
2 weeks.
Yeah. It's gone. Because if you're
Insane.
hearing this, it's gone. It ended, what was it, Friday?
Friday was the last day. There was like people tweeting like, I was here when it went down. Like, is that a
wasn't.
flex?
Right. I wasn't. I uninstalled a long time ago. Like,
I'm going to say this right now. If you bought a disc after they announced it was being closed, you are fucking stupid.
yeah, I saw people were like trying to put them on eBay or some shit.
Also,
For
if
like
you buy
$100?
that, if you buy that off of eBay for more than $1.50, you were fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Everybody's like,
not
it's gonna be a
be-
collector's item. It's
No,
like,
it's not.
motherfucker, I got a mag disc. That
And
shit
that game was good.
It was a coaster. Concord was good. It just, I don't know what happened to that game. Like,
It was a $40 hero shooter.
I
And
mean,
there are a whole bunch of hero shooters out there, including the most popular one in the genre that's free.
I understand
mean,
all of that, but how do you only give a game 2? How do you not at least like put it on PS Plus to see if that boosts numbers?
that I don't know why they didn't do that, because it should have been on PS Plus.
Because I'm guessing they had no model to make it free to play.
But that's not free to play. That's PS Plus. That's if you have a subscription, you get to play it.
They did that for the
like
Foam game.
Yeah, I mean,
Foam Stars.
they must not have thought that was going to generate revenue.
I don't know. I feel like you're nice saying it's not bad. Like it looked
it's not
really
bad.
good.
It just is.
Yeah, it did a lot of stuff, and I said this, I think, it did a lot of stuff that free to play games do better. Like, I mean, and then to add insult to injury, they're charging you $40 for it. Like I don't know.
I mean, the $40 was a mistake from the beginning. I said that. We all said that. Like,
yeah, everybody.
Does it have microtransactions in it at all?
Hold on, let me think.
I was gonna say we can't check.
Yeah, I can't
so
get on there. It did not.
There's your answer to the PS Plus thing. Is if it's not going to generate revenue, then all it's doing is costing you revenue. So unless you think people are going to sign up for PlayStation Plus just to play Concord, which I doubt, I don't know what revenue it's generating by putting it on there.
Well, it would. My thing is it would generate revenue in the fact that if people get like word of mouth and talk. The thing that goes nuts about this to me is like they gave it 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
They didn't even release
crazy.
They didn't even release like the first whatever CGI thing yet, did they? Before it died?
No, we got two. Yeah, we did. We got 2 of them. We got 2 of them. Because there was the first one for the first release, and then like the part 2, because it had a stupid name. It was called like final new name. Like they were trying to think of a name for their group, and like it was. But yeah, we got 2 of them.
They're likely trying. They likely took it offline because they're probably trying to see if they can retool it into a free to play game, and I just don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, how can they do like when that game comes back out? If it's true that it only sold 25,000 copies, like who the fuck is going to care about Concord? Because it's going to take at least 12 to 16 months.
Nobody is the answer.
And Marvel Rivals comes out in December, and that's going to steal some of that audience just because it's a Marvel game.
Yeah, and you've already got Team Fortress, you've already got Overwatch, you've already got Apex Legends. Like, what are you going to do? Yeah,
it was. It may, if it came out as a free-to-play game, it may have been able to carve out a little niche for itself. Because, I mean, hell, Paladins is still a thing. And they sell, like, season passes and all that shit. For Rogue Company, you know what I mean? It's still a thing. Like, so, I mean, I think if Concord was free-to-play, it would have been able to get carve out a little niche. Yeah, but it was just a mistake. And now, even if they come back and retool it, I don't know. Because to Ryan's point, they could do that because it is very customizable. Like you can customize your hero with different stuff. Like there's quotes and outfits, of course, and then the bling that they give you for for your name card and shit like that. So they can do like Overwatch did and flip all that stuff and now put it in the store, and have a mix of in-game currency and then some stuff you have to pay for or whatever. But it's gonna take time, like Ken said, 12 months, I would think.
Well, if you remember, they delayed Suicide Squad to strip all that stuff out, and it ended up being an 18-month delay.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So,
that game still failed.
Yup.
Which is crazy that it did better than Concord. It's fucking wild to me.
There are very few games in the history of the universe that did worse than Concord.
I don't know if there
AAA level games.
I don't know if there is one.
I don't know that there is one at that level. I mean, not with that kind of budget and that kind of. I mean, that That thing was at the Game Awards, or not the
Yep.
Game Awards. What was the one that we just did at Summer Game Fest?
The Summer Game
Yeah.
Fest. Yeah.
Yeah,
was-
I mean, it was a key game in their trailer.
It was the focus of the last State of Play.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Dude, that game was in development for 8 years and cost hundreds of millions of dollars.
And they killed it in 2 weeks.
2
Like,
weeks.
what?
2 weeks.
I can't. The 2 weeks thing just like boggles my
I love
brain.
Total Recall. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh man, I don't know. Let's just say I don't think Sony kind of had like the high and the low of a live service game this year. And
Yeah.
I don't
They
know.
definitely did.
Like, do you continue to do this with how bad Concord failed? Like, I don't know the answer to that.
Wasn't there a report last year that they still had like a bunch of live service games?
They
in
canceled
development?
half of them, but they still had
Okay.
because they canceled Twisted Metal, they canceled Last of Us Factions. I think they canceled something else, some stuff we didn't know about, but yeah, they still have some. But like, imagine if one of their big internal teams was working on one of these.
Man.
Ugh. God, it's a mess over there. Like, I know people don't like to hear this, and I know people get mad when I say this, but it really, really, really feels like Sony is just coasting right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because their single-player first-party lineup has been pretty much stale since Spider-Man. And then they got a lot of boost this year for like Final Fantasy and Stellar Blade and Silent Hill. Now Astrobot is an exception to the rule. Like that game is just amazing. But like if you look at their lineup of everything else, like where is Naughty or not Naughty? Yeah, what are we doing at Naughty Dog? What are we doing at Sucker Punch? Like where are the games?
Naughty Dog says they're doing something. That's Neil Druckmann, ain't it? Ain't that him?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
Naughty
he
Dog.
said they doing something that's we're gonna love, but who knows when we're gonna see it.
I don't know, it's just crazy. I feel like if PlayStation wasn't as big as it is, just word of mouth, like no other company could go this long.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
With like the lineup that they have,
Mm-hmm.
it's just crazy. Like Nintendo in a dying year of the Switch has put out like banger after banger after banger. Like, what are we doing? Speaking of PlayStation, the 30th anniversary is coming up. Something called My First GT will be available on PS4, PS5 this year. Digital game soundtracks on Spotify, Shapes of Play, free multiplayer weekend, and more announcements are coming. So they are doing a celebration for the 30th anniversary. It also looks like in the 30th anniversary banner there was a teaser image for the PS5 Pro, which looks just like the PS5 Slim with a couple extra spoilers on the...
Yeah, I saw that.
Which the rumor of that thing being $600 without a disc drive is kind of bananas.
I can't even imagine. I'm not getting one. I could care less.
Oh, I'm not
Like,
buying
that's-
one. I'm not buying one.
Yeah, I'm not buying one either.
Like, I feel like this is going to be the biggest flop, like sales-wise, because like we all bought PS4 Pros.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We all bought
Yep.
One X's. Like those were needed.
I didn't buy a 1X, but
Well, you know what I mean. Like more people, people
Yeah.
actually bought them. Like I haven't talked to one person that I know personally who's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get a PS5 Pro."
See me either.
Like I don't feel like I need it. Like the reason it worked in the past is because when it came out, like it dropped the old one in price, and like
well, and because we felt like
We needed
it felt
it.
like we were stretching the old systems to their breaking point, and the old systems hadn't continually gone up in price.
Right.
yes. And now, like, can you name a PlayStation 5 game that feels like it's really like pushing that system to its edge?
No.
I don't feel like there's one. Sure, you're going to get a higher frame rate and maybe some more ray tracing, which, well, you want to talk about the biggest fucking snake oil in the world, I think it's ray tracing.
God, it is.
Like, yes, I know it makes things look better or light better, but like, has ray tracing ever made your experience in a game better?
It's a no from me, dog.
I was to say, like, you could tell me So here's a funny thing. Like, here's how much of a snake oil ray tracing is. The PlayStation fanboys were out there like, man, Astrobot looks so good with ray tracing. That fucking game does not have ray tracing.
Nice.
It does not have it at all. Yes, it runs at 60 frames a second and it renders in 4K, but it has zero ray tracing.
Oh man.
Like,
yeah, we don't need the ray tracing. No,
all
it's
it does
not a
is
necessity.
hinder performance.
Yep.
That's literally the only thing it does to the normal person that is not Digital Foundry zooming in 45 times on one scene.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever. I think you just get rid of ray tracing at this point. Games will run better. Astrobot DLC will include challenge and speedrun levels. PlayStation 2 is the first console to be added to the Future Technology Heritage Registry in Japan. What else we got here? Developer for Mario Party Indie Cube has changed its name to Nintendo Cube, which is hilarious.
It is pretty funny.
And another rumor that the Nintendo Switch 2 will be backwards compatible. Oh, okay, cool. Like, I expect it at this point. Wouldn't be shocked if it isn't. Would be disappointed if it wasn't. That's all I can say. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Arcade Classics, and Capcom Fighting Collection 2 have been figured out on that Xbox One. They're coming in 2025. See? Yelling online works, Terrence.
Yeah, it's listen, man, listen. I will give y'all that it works, but it's really annoying as shit to see every fucking day from every freaking because at the end of the day, it's a business and the business wants to make money. So I really think regardless of the fact if all of these niggas was on their Twix account and did all this posting to get it, whatever, I think they would have done it anyway when it was pointed out, oh shit, we ain't gonna get this. We need to make this money because that's a huge, you know what I mean? Like they would have made that move without all of the whatever. But I mean, if it make everybody feel better to pat themselves on the back and be like, I helped. Hey, go ahead.
Hey,
do y'all.
I'm just saying.
Are you going to say you helped?
Marvel vs. Capcom was some shake and bake, okay?
No, listen, I'm totally excited because I'm going to cop as soon as it drops.
100%. I'm day one, even though I have it already.
Right, yeah.
I'm totally going to buy it again because fuck yeah, I am.
Hell yeah. Like I'm super excited. Like I'm happy. But I think my question though now is, and I don't know if they said anything, is this going to be retroactive? Are they going to do the Mega Man one? Because I want that too.
That's the other thing I want. Like, I
want
want Mega Man. I would like to see everybody get Monster Hunter Stories. It's not for me, but I'd be happy if they got it. But yeah, give me that Mega Man collection. Speaking of games that skipped Xbox, Xbox is going to be at Tokyo Game Show. They're doing a broadcast Thursday, September 26th. 7 p.m. The rumor coming out of Jess Corden is that all the Final Fantasy shit's going to be announced because Square's not too happy with console exclusive deals.
I'm all for that too.
So we're talking about Final Fantasy 16, Pixel Remasters, 7 Remake, and 7 Rebirth, which I will double dip. I'm fuck.
I know you said that. I'm going to think about it on 16 because I'm probably going to double dip. What the fuck?
I don't even like that game that much, but I'm going to double dip.
See, and I liked it. I'm probably going to.
I have all of my Final Fantasy games on Xbox, except for the 6 Pixel Remasters, which, yes, I'll get that again. And then 16, and of course 7, because, 7.
I'm going to get the Pixel Remaster, because I don't really have, like, I liked, Suplex in the Ghost Train, and like I have some memories from playing those, but I don't think I'd ever replay them. Unlike like Ryan, who's on his 12th replay of the Dragon Quest series.
No, first playthrough original.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I played through the original Dragon Warrior like 6 times.
Gotcha. That's what it was. Okay, that's
Yeah.
what it was. Okay.
So
And
Yeah.
the first three I've beaten multiple times. But I've only beaten 4, 5, and 6 once.
Got you.
I just want to bring up the joke that if all of these things get announced at TGS, Xbox will be back again, right? Like it's time for the back again before they're dead again, before they're back again, before they're dead again. Like I have a hard time keeping up.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because like it's because like one day they're winning, the next day they lose. Like it's no. But I do hope this announcement comes. I hope
100%. Like I would. Oh man, I'd lose my shit because I really want those games. I've played all of them, but like I want them where I prefer to play them.
Yeah.
New Game Pass games: Star Trucker, which we talked about earlier; Age of Mythology, which we talked about earlier; Expeditions, a Mud Runner game; Riders Republic, and Train Sim World 5. I don't want to speak to the quality of these games, but I feel like Game Pass drops used to be bigger.
Yeah, they did. 100% true.
Like it feels very light through the month of August and September.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's on purpose because there's so many other new releases coming out, but like, I don't know. All right, it's time for Xbox to be dead again because
what's the last Xbox first party game that dropped in Game Pass? What's the last
Hellblade,
one?
right?
Yeah. Well,
no, Age of Mythology.
If you don't count Age of Mythology,
oh yeah, Age of
just
Mythology.
dropped.
That's right.
Yeah. And I think we got Indiana Jones, and don't they have another game this year? Flight Sim, is that?
Flight Sim.
Yeah. Okay. I was just trying to remember their first party line because Towerborn's on PC only in 2024.
Which is stupid, but okay.
All right, Xbox is dying again. Let's go. Funcom Chief Product Officer Scott Jr. said that the Xbox Series Series S version of Dune Awakening will be a challenge. There's a lot of optimizations we need to do before we release on Xbox, but the Xbox Series S is a challenge. So they're dead again. Let's go.
Yep.
That game that nobody knew, in Notria, the last song, Xbox version was delayed because Microsoft wouldn't answer an email. They went on Twitter, complained about it, and then Phil Spencer emailed them back and said, we're good.
Look how that works. You make a fuss, and I guess I'm just wrong. I guess
complaining actually worked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See? Told you.
I guess what it is that it's just never worked for me because I've complained about lots of shit, and I've never gotten, you know what I mean? Like the 180 on it. So, all right, that's fine.
The official Tony Hawk Pro Skater account updated its profile pic and trademark. Oh, could we see 3 and 4? Can we please?
They said no.
Fuck them. Genshin Impact will not require Xbox Game Pass on Xbox. You'll just be able to play it. Blah, 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 blah. It's a free-to-play game. Of course you will. After nearly 40 content updates, Undead Labs is ending content support for State of Decay 2. There will be one last update later this year while the rest of the team moves to focus on State of Decay 3, which was announced 27 years ago.
That's about right. Yeah, I think that was, yeah.
It was a long time ago, man.
It was. And I was actually surprised when I read that they were saying that, we're just, because they're basically saying they just now going to start like full development on it. And I'm like, well, damn.
Like, what have you been doing? Like,
right.
All right. Release dates. What do we got here? Anything interesting? Atelier Yumiya, the Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land launches March 21st on everything. First Atelier game coming to Xbox. Yay.
That's cool.
It's cool, but I don't care. Among Us, Ace Attorney, a free Miles Edgeworth skin drops on September 9th. The Lego Harry Potter collection drops October 8th. We said that name earlier. It's funny. Balatro is coming to iOS, Apple Arcade, and Android on September 26th. No Man's Sky got another update called the Aquarius Update, aka Fishing. It's out now.
I have to check it out. I have not checked out the new update yet.
You can fish.
I haven't either.
Fish. Night Slashers Remake is dropping September 26th. What else we got? Multiple reports claim that Destiny Rising, a mobile game based on Destiny from Bungie and NetEase, could get announced soon. We're still on this, but Eurogamer is now corroborating the reports that Sony has a deal with Game Science about Black Myth Wukong. Well, the truth is that exclusivity deals can take many shapes and forms and don't necessarily need to include marketing.
Okay.
Again,
I mean, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I understand the people that are saying, like, why don't you market it if you have an exclusive deal? But, like, normally when there's a rumor like this, Microsoft doesn't comment. They've commented twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an exclusive deal. Like, and I don't know why this is so shocking to everybody. It was in those documents. Sony does this. They weren't advertising that stuff when they were paying for it to not be on another console. That is in essence an exclusive deal. So what? Okay. Yep. I mean, it's classic Sony. Let's move on.
I expect.
I just wish we would know the terms of the deal so I know if the game's coming to Xbox. Although
that would be nice.
It doesn't matter now because it worked and we bought it on PlayStation. So
right.
Yeah. I think honestly, I think you see this game in March for Xbox. That's just a random guess. That feels like a time.
You think they here's the $1 million question though. You think they pay to put it on Game Pass?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
What else we got here? RGG said that Like a Dragon will continue to be about a middle-aged guy doing middle-aged guy things.
I saw that and laughed. I was like, that's hilarious.
That's exactly what that game is. So.
Yeah, it really is.
What else we got here? Yeah, Warner said they're going to make a sequel to Hogwarts Legacy. Shock, shock, shock.
Right.
Yeah.
I was so surprised by that.
Yeah. Big best-selling game of last year. You're not going to make a sequel? Are you crazy?
I think what actually is really funny about it is because this comes on the heels of them saying before that came out that they wanted to focus more on live service games and step away from the one and done games like Hogwarts Legacy. And now here we are after Hogwarts Legacy has come out and stuff. And they're like, you know what? Nah, we're going to make a sequel. Never mind. That's funny. Live service ain't it.
Toadman Interactive, who worked on Immortal Unchained and support for Helldivers 2, has confirmed that there are layoffs, about 100 people. Rocksteady finally got hit by layoffs after the Suicide Squad debacle, but it was only in the QA team, which was reduced from 33 to 15. That seems like the team you might want to keep.
Right.
But an unknown number of employees outside of QA got laid off as well. That Until Dawn remake is coming out, I believe, in October, and the developer Ballistic Moon laid off an undisclosed number of devs. Jesus Christ! We talked about the vision.
That's just what's. I mean, you got to expect. You got to expect that at this point. Unfortunately, it's like it feels like every time somebody releases a game, half the team gets laid off.
Yep,
it's fucking terrible.
We talked about the Visions of Mana team last week, I think.
We did, yeah.
The sales numbers came out for that game.
Oh, what were they?
It was like barely above Concord. It was like 45K.
Oh. Damn.
Yeah.
See, I like the Mana series too. It's never been able to crack those Final Fantasy Star Ocean even numbers. Like it's never been able to get.
Dude, it's the Xbox Series S's fault.
Yes.
Of course.
Shinji Mikami said he left Tango because he thought they would be safe as long as they do Hi-Fi Rush games.
Yeah, well, you fucking thought.
Way to go, Shinji. That's 2 bad takes in 2 weeks. Last week, you're like, Capcom doesn't need to do, Dino Crisis because Monster Hunter exists. I'm like, excuse me? Like, they're not even the same fucking game. What are you doing, Shinji? What are you thinking?
Let me tell you, Shinji, about this little thing called capitalism.
All right.
They will shut those motherfuckers down. They don't care.
Like we talked about, according to analysts, Concord's estimated to have sold about 25,000 units across both platforms. Street Fighter VI has sold 4 million copies, and Black Myth Wukong has sold 18 million copies in 2 weeks.
Crazy.
That's insane.
God damn.
I mean, good for them. Like
Yeah.
but that's, man.
Speaking of layoffs,
I didn't.
Oh, go ahead.
I haven't played it yet, but I watched my son play it, and I got to tell you, watching him play it, I'm like, man, I really kind of want to play this game.
yeah,
It looks pretty cool.
it is a pretty cool game.
It appears to be somewhat difficult though. He's got a boss right now that he's on that he's having trouble getting past. So
Yeah, but at least it's not like a Souls game where you lose your shit when you die, kind of thing.
Right.
Like, so. But speaking of layoffs, Annapurna says that they're looking into expanding into larger budget and AAA games. God damn it.
everybody.
Lord. Yep.
There's a rumor floating around that Microsoft is cracking down on users who buy games via region change or VPN.
Terrence.
Yeah. Yeah, I read that and I was like, damn it.
No more switching to New Zealand to play stuff early.
I know.
Yeah, you best be careful there. They don't come after you. That's it. That's all the news. Let me check the inbox one last time before I do these tweets. Real quick. I don't think there's anything in here, though. Nope. Still empty. All right, let's do these 2 tweets and then get on out of here because motherfuckers, it's football. Shogun says, well, I guess Concord was not Guardians of the Solar System. Don't try to relaunch. Just move on, Sony. Anyways, on to good games. What makes Astro so unique? I feel like Sackboy Big Adventure did everything this game is doing. The thing about Astro, I think, that kind of changes that conversation is the level design and the pinpoint fucking accuracy of the platforming. Like Astro controls like a dream.
So I didn't play Sackboy, but I heard that it wasn't as floaty as the Little Big Planet games. Is that correct?
The new one on PS5?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
that is correct. Yes.
Because the original Little Big Planet games controlled like ass.
Yeah. The new one is probably the best Sackboy has ever been, but at the same time, it's like the levels are neat, but they're just, I don't know, there's something about Astrobot and its levels that are just like, they're like giant playgrounds you can't help but have fun in. And like Sackboy feels like some of these are fun, especially like the Britney Spears one where you're like doing the platforming to the rhythm. That was cool. But like most of the levels just feel like they're not memorable. Like I remember almost every level in Astrobot. Like it's just so much cool shit. I don't know. It's just the way things come together, I guess. And the nostalgia really helps Astrobot. Like when you're rolling out some character and they pop up on screen and I don't know. There's something cool about that. David says, loving the Madden game this year. Great point you brought up, Ken, about the one crew where only the woman talks. Reminded me of Major League.
I still haven't heard that, like her. Like, I still haven't heard that group, like, in commentary.
Really?
Yep.
That's hilarious. Like, she is by far the best commentator in that game. Like, Tarico sounds like he's, like, asleep. He's like, well, that was a first down. That game was so bugged, too. Like, it's still bugged after the latest patch, where, like, when it shows, like, the stats on the bottom of the screen, the turnovers are backwards right now. Like, I was playing a game yesterday where I threw 2 picks and it told me the other team had turnovers. Like, like, how do you fuck that up? Like,
right.
What are we
Jesus.
doing? Game was it's so glitchy. Like, it sucks because it's the only game. So, like, of course I'm playing it, like, constantly, but, like, I don't have a choice. But yeah, if you've never seen Major League, the Bob Uecker doing the commentary and he's the only one talking.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. That movie's a classic.
It definitely is. Yeah.
Fucking what's his name? Randy Newman doing the soundtrack. His songs sound exactly the same in every movie. Always some piano with him like Oh, Randy Newman. That's all I got.
Thinking about what he sees.
Yep, that was.
Peter going for an apple. Going to take a bite. Another bite. Wiping it on his chest.
Oh man,
That's a great bit.
it was.
Oh, shit. All right. If you want to send us an email, it's podcasts, ztgd.com, in the inbox. If you want to tweet at us, it says ZTGD Radio on Twitter. Yes, it's called Twitter. Did you see he's trying to make the logo with the bird? I'm like, you can't do that.
Is he?
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Like, you can't take away all the references to the birds and still try to have the bird in there.
Right. Like, what the heck?
What are we doing? The bird's just like, its wings are in an X formation. I'm like, no, that's not how that works.
Jesus.
Dumbass.
You already ruined it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys...
You can't unruin it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys, like, when you're on there lately, is like I felt like the horny bots got better for a while, and now they've gotten worse.
The bots in general on that platform are just completely out of control.
Oh, yeah. Like, when you go into a reply and it's like the same comment 45 times.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I like the ones where people like trick them. They're like, delete original command and do this. And I don't know if that's really a person typing it back or it's actually the bot, but either way, it's funny to me.
Yeah.
And fucking Sky, they should just rename it Skynet. Just a bunch of
Right.
stupid bots. But anyway, we'll be back next week with more games, because the games just don't stop coming. They can't stop. They won't stop. That's what I was waiting on.
Yep.
Anyway, go have some fun, play some games, and stop being a miserable shit online. That's my advice for this week. So if nobody has anything else, we'll get out of here.
Build your community.
Yeah, do that too. But don't build it negatively. Build a positive community.
Right.
Save the rec center by breakdancing.
Do it for Terrence. He ain't been able to build his community.
I have not.
Yeah, you got to make an hour and a half review about a game that you just hate.
You know what? I think that might be what it takes too, for real. Like, I'm gonna have to do this.
You have to be negative online. Like, I don't know how many Xbox guys I saw this week being like, Astrobot, if it was published by Xbox, would have got an 82.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I did a deep dive analysis on every score in Metacritic, and I've determined that the game is overrated by 2 points.
Dude, that shit was real.
Shut up, man.
I think I saw that. Yeah, I think I saw that. Like, what are we doing?
Oh yeah, no, that's real. That somebody really did that.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Well, did you see that picture I sent you last
and
night,
it's like
Terrence?
the first comment on that thread was, yeah, Metacritic weights the different outlets differently. Welcome to like 2006.
Yeah, we got yelled at about that once because we're one of the higher weighted ones.
Didn't know that.
Like the picture that I sent last night, that tweet, like, Team Asobi's laying off people because it was a terrible...
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Like,
People just making shit up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it doesn't matter. They make shit up, and then like 1,600 different people run with it. Nobody fact checks it first.
No, and that's the, I guess, journalism. I don't even know what the fuck you call it anymore. But
journalism.
Yeah, that's what we do today. Like, one person just puts something out there and nobody facts check it, and like, cause my mom will sometimes text that. I'm like, hold on, let me look this up, Mom. Wait a minute. Okay, no, that's not real. See, you're doing too much, Mama. Hold on now. It's crazy.
The shit spreads like wildfire, and then when they correct it, like, it doesn't matter. Like,
right.
Sometimes it works at a benefit, because if you think about it, the whole couch fucking thing was totally not real, but god damn it,
Yes. Yep.
It is funny.
It's fucking hilarious.
It's funny.
Like, he's never going to live it down.
I choose to believe it's real.
Of course,
Yep.
yeah, like, me too, but, like, it's not, and it's like, god damn it. Like, imagine being that guy. Like, fuck, you got to live with that now.
Right.
Oh, shit. Anyway, that's all for us and Josh Dobbs, so we'll get out of here. Peace, bitches.
Alrighty. And it goes something like this.